मेरा नाम है शाहिद इकबाल और हमारे शो के डायरेक्टर हैं सैयद काशिफ। पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन क्रिएटिव शो के सीज़न 3 में एपिसोड 6 के अंदर हमारे साथ मौजूद है मोना राजा, जो आजकल अपने आर्ट में इजाज़ा की स्टूडेंट हैं। तो आइए सुनते हैं मोना राजा की कहानी मोना राजा की ज़बानी। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर कमिंग।
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
थैंक यू। नो इट्स एन ऑनर फॉर अस और हमारी पूरी टीम के लिए जिससे आपकी भी मुलाकात हुई। तो ये लोग माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं और टीम एफर्ट ही है। आई थिंक हम अकेले तो बहुत कम चीज़ें कर पाते हैं।
बिल्कुल।
तो बात शुरू करते हैं मोना आपसे कि कहाँ से आपको ये इंस्पिरेशन मिली, कब आपको ये ख्याल आया कि आपके अंदर एक आर्टिस्ट है, कैलीग्राफर है, और किस तरह से ये जर्नी 2023 तक पहुंची?
Since I can remember, I basically I can say that I grew up in a very artistic environment, and my mom was an artist, my sisters, and I'm the 9th of the 10 siblings, mashallah.
माशाल्लाह।
तो और I grew up in an environment कि जो बहुत artistic थी, and I used to be the non-artistic person. So, but with time, I dabbled into different things and got married and right out of, college. And I went to a college where obviously I dabbled into different interior design or different art form. So, long story short, I loved this, the art of illumination since I can remember. So, but it is so situated in areas कि जहाँ पे अक्सर लोगों का access नहीं है, and most people don't even know where it is. So then COVID happened, and I came about this opportunity that I can take classes on Zoom.
Wow.
And that was the best thing that came out of COVID for me. So, and here I am. It's been 3 years, mashallah, and I am well on my way to get my ijazah, inshallah.
वंडरफुल यार, अब बहुत आप मुबारक। मैं एक्चुअली आपकी इजाज़ा के बारे में पूछना चाह रहा था, क्योंकि जिस तरह से इस्लामिक आर्ट या दूसरे आर्ट फॉर्म जो हैं वो इतना ज़्यादा नोन नहीं है, इसी तरह से ये जो आप लोगों का ट्रेनिंग और इजाज़ा है ये भी इतना ज़्यादा नोन नहीं है। तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए, क्योंकि मैं बहुत से आर्टिस्ट से मिलता हूँ तो आखिर में बात आके यही ख़त्म होती है कि मुझे मेरी इजाज़त नहीं मिली है।
Yeah.
और मैं उसको इक्वेट करता हूँ कि जैसे हमारे घर में हमें इजाज़त नहीं होती थी बात करने की।
Yeah. The thing is, it's a very old way of doing things, passing down
It's a generation after generation, handing down of the
handing down a craft, and you have direct access to your teacher, and you are getting a guidance कि जो completely जैसे होता, you feel like you're the only person in the world, and you get so much attention, and there's so much decorum in it. It's not like a contemporary education or going
It's
to
not like
university.
a teacher student in college,
No.
university.
It's a very deep connection,
Yeah.
and your teacher actually really cares for you. और आपके दिल में इतनी वो उसकी टीचर की कदर है, और they give you इजाज़ा when they see कि you have mastered the whole thing.
Yeah.
तो और कॉलेज में ठीक है, passing marks ले लिए and you pass through. तो not to knock down college, but it's a very different environment.
इजाज़ा में passing marks नहीं होते,
नहीं,
या तो इजाज़त होती है या नहीं होती।
और इजाज़ा it's very क्या कहते हैं, there's what's the word, कि उसकी बहुत अदब है उसमें, और जो I become emotional when I think about my teachers and the way they care about me, and you're supposed to even go and be in their presence, so they can see you and you can see them working on it, and it's amazing program.
Thank you for sharing, and I think it's about time that more people know about this process, और वो ताकि उसमें और लोग भी जा सके, and I think that goes to show के इस्लामिक आर्ट जो है वो सिर्फ कंटेम्प्रेरी एलिमेंट नहीं है, इट्स मोर के वो टीचर जो है वो आपको अपनी स्पिरिट में से एक हिस्सा दे रहा है। तो दैट्स वेरी ब्यूटीफुल। तो फिर मोना ये बताइए कि इस्लामिक आर्ट सोसाइटी के साथ आपका बहुत गहरा ताल्लुक रहा है, तो थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में बताइए कि कहाँ से शुरू किया जर्नी, कहाँ तक पहुँची आप?
इट्स सो फनी कि मैं इस्लामिक आर्ट सोसाइटी के साथ मेरी एफिलिएशन वाज एज अ वॉलंटियर बिकॉज आई लव आर्ट्स एंड एट दैट टाइम आई स्टिल डू आई एम अ ज्वेलरी आर्टिस्ट here. So Islamic Art Society, they always would say, just, come and be part of it. It's a very creative environment. So I used to volunteer and I used to be a dossier. I used to, bring in new people and stuff. So with time, and I was so inspired by all the artists there. So when COVID happened, obviously the festival was not happening, and I came to know about this organization. It's Deen Arts Foundation, and they were offering classes, but my beginning started with the Islamic Art Society. They offered different art forms of Islamic art,
Right.
and I took that summer. It was the starting point for me, and I got the bug.
Zabardast. That's a good bug.
It's an amazing bug.
Wonderful. तो अब ये बताइए कि what are your current projects? किन चीज़ों पे काम कर रही हैं? How did you find those projects? उनकी इंस्पिरेशन क्या थी? बस ऐसे ही चलते चलते रास्ते में मिल गया या कुछ प्लानिंग थी, कुछ
I
thought
think
था?
it's more of an evolution. Over time, you do one thing and that leads to another, and you're inspired by somebody else. So even Tezhip, the Art of Illumination, it kind of, a jumping off point for me was learning about Maghrabi. So right now, I'm in my 3rd, 4th year of Tezhip and my 2nd year of Maghrabi style script of calligraphy. Wow. So, and now I'm trying to combine those and trying to, get my Ijazah on board. And most of my projects I'm working on, they're affiliated with my classes. Or kya kehte hain, I'm just, riding the wave.
Good. तो अभी होपफुली कि पेंडेमिक जो है वो ओवर हो गया है, लोग बाहर आना शुरू हो रहे हैं, तो what are some of the things that you are doing with the community? कोई स्पेसिफिक चीज़ें आप कर रही हैं कम्युनिटी के साथ मिलके?
Time to time, what I do is in Cyprus, there's a mosque, and my biggest passion is passing on to new generation the love of Islamic arts. So what I do is during summer, I volunteer to teach the kids. Wow. And kind of introduce them to, basic Tezhip, and I have not done calligraphy, but that's the future me. Or Arabesque. So, and I see actual, just there's like a kindling happening. So that's one of the things that I really want to make sure that I pass it on to new generation and the love for it and the value of it. So, yeah.
No, that's wonderful, because मेरा next question यही था कि once you get your Ijazah, do you become a teacher, or then there is another level for you becoming a person who is now teaching others?
That's the thing that a lot of people, because of my exhibition at IAS Gala, and, at the festival, there were so many people, adults and children, they were like, we want to learn this. Right. And I'm like, I don't have Ijazah. I don't have permission. And I don't want to teach it wrongly. But with Ijazah, it's like a certification. It's like your teacher has confidence in you that whatever she has taught and her teacher has taught, that the craft is in its purest form as much as possible, because eventually you have your personal, you style into.
You have your style, you have your preferences, your touch, जो color आपको पसंद है वो आपके teacher को शायद पसंद ना आए.
And the funny thing is, one of the project has that type of story. But in the end, she loved the project. She was not too keen on the color scheme.
Yeah.
So, but that's what you get, that you pass it on to new people and kids and, new generation. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. तो अब थोड़ा सा आपके इस्लामिक आर्ट से हट के थोड़ा सा कल्चर की तरफ आते हैं. आपकी प्रोफाइल में ये भी है कि आपने ट्रक आर्ट सीखा है और वो भी none other than हैदर अली साहब.
Yes.
तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए.
You guys have been catalyst in that, in this art council. And I have been following Haidar Ali for a while.
I know. We all are following.
It was so funny that then I found out that he's here. And at that time, I literally begged him, can you give us a class? Obviously, it's such an enormous art form. We couldn't have learned it in, one sitting. But he was so kind enough that I gathered like 6-7 people and we took class with him for a few hours. And I feel like that it's like the art imitation is the best, form of admiration for someone. So, and now some of the projects that I do, which are kind of, a combination of my Islamic art background and truck art and even Arabesque, I try to combine all of it. So something else is going to come out. But yeah, Haidar Ali, he was amazing. He was so kind enough to even, entertain that idea.
नहीं? Yeah. Wonderful. तो फिर ये बताइए कि अब after all these influences, right? पाकिस्तानी ट्रक आर्ट का इन्फ्लुएंस भी हैवी है, इस्लामिक आर्ट का भी बहुत हैवी है. तो what is that final product in Mona Raja that is coming out with all these different influences? और फिर वो सब हो रहा है अमेरिका में.
I know.
है ना? तो I'm very interested to know कि वो final product क्या है आपके ज़हन?
To be honest with you,
या वो स्टाइल क्या है या वो genre क्या है?
I think I have to think about that. It's pure Pakistani in me, but then obviously my religion and my, religious art, that plays a huge part in it. But that combination, obviously I can't touch Tezhip because it needs to stay in its purest form. But it comes out in my jewelry. So when I'm designing jewelry, it's purely my self-expression and what I am about. So, and I do one-of-a-kind jewelry, so it's not repeated, and it gives me great joy that whoever has it,
it's a unique piece.
Yeah. And they're the only ones.
That's the only one.
So, so all those different art forms, they gather in my jewelry.
जबरदस्त. तो फिर ये बताइए मोना कि माशाल्लाह इतने सारे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ और इतने सारे जो आपकी अकॉम्प्लिशमेंट्स हैं, are you thinking about converting all of that into maybe a book or maybe something else to kind of preserve it?
From your lips to God's ears. And honestly, this year, literally my mantra has been yes. That whatever opportunity Allah gives me or comes my way, I am not going to let the fear dictate it or, anything that my own inhibitions take the, driving seat. So who knows? But, that's an amazing idea.
Absolutely. I think जिस तरह से हम लोग अब यहाँ पे आके रहना शुरू हो गए हैं, हमारी अगली जनरेशंस आ रही हैं माशाल्लाह से, फिर उनकी जनरेशंस आ रही हैं, तो आई थिंक जो हमारा कल्चर है, हमारी ट्रेडिशंस हैं, उनको अब बुक फॉर्म्स में आना चाहिए, ताकि वो फिर जनरेशन टू जनरेशन पास डाउन हो सके.
And you're very right. Even I went to Pakistan in February, March, and I actually literally digged and asked around their books on art, and they were not. So, and it's even I found one book on Lahore, and which was very generic photography, and I think that can be a next project for all of us.
There you go.
No, that makes perfect sense.
नहीं, आई थिंक आइडियाज एक्सचेंज करने से ही डेवलप होते हैं.
Yep.
और आई एम वन ऑफ द फुट सोल्जर्स इन दिस एरिया. तो मेरा यही आइडिया है कि भाई अगर मेरी चीज़ें मैं खुद ना कर सकूं, शायद कोई और कर ले.
Yes. Or the thing is, it's evolution.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
And but the passion has to be the driving force.
Right.
And things manifest in different ways. So inshallah, I can look into it. One.
तो अच्छा, अब आखिर में ये बताइए कि फ्यूचर में आपके क्या प्लान्स हैं. जैसे अभी हमने बुक की बात की, उसके अलावा ऑफ कोर्स आप एग्जीबिशंस वगैरह तो करती रहती हैं. कोई नेशनल टूर बन रहा है, कोई स्टेट वाइड टूर बन रहा है, क्या चीज़ें हैं?
Right now I'm so focused on, because when I think about, too much ahead, it becomes overwhelming.
अच्छा.
So I try to just, whatever comes my way, whatever opportunity, but you have given me a lot of ideas. So, but the biggest thing for me is right now getting my Ijazah and just,
Right.
And I just came, I had a class till
I know you're
5,
telling
6,
me, yeah.
and I got ready and I'm like, I need to go. But the thing is, there are certain things that, yes, one of the things I'm really working on, I did Fatmid Kufik. It's another style of, and I finished that class in 6 weeks. It was supposed to be the whole summer.
Wow.
So, but I'm working on, creating, people love to see their names and, in painting and nikaramas and all that. So that is something I want to work on, that very exclusive. And because I did one commission where there was a newlywed and they wanted me to do their names in Fatmid Kufik
Wow.
with the Tezhip. And
Wow.
I designed that, and recently it was given to them, and they were just over the moon. So
Of
that is
course,
something
yeah.
I want to work a little bit more outside my Ijazah program. So yeah, and even teach that, because I do have Ijazah in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. नहीं, आई थिंक इसकी तो जिस तरह से सूरज की बहुत सारी किरणें निकलती हैं और
Yeah.
वो मुख्तलिफ सिमत में जाती हैं, आई थिंक ये सारे जो आप तगो-दो कर रही हैं, पढ़ रही हैं, सीख रही हैं,
Alhamdulillah.
इनके माशाल्लाह बहुत सारे वेन्यूज़ हैं जिन तक आप खुद पहुंच गई हैं. इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह के फजल से आप और वेन्यूज़ पे ही पहुंचेंगी.
Inshallah.
तो
And
बहुत मज़ा आया आपसे बात करके.
thank
और
you so much.
से आपको पता है कि सिर्फ टाइम ही हमारा एनिमी है, है ना?
I know.
जो पता नहीं चलता कहाँ चला जाता है.
And we can talk for hours. But the thing is, it's such a vast subject. But thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful talking to you and talking about my passion. And yeah,
Likewise. Thank
thank you so much.
you.